I'm Tanya from Claude Business Services, where we help small business owners streamline their operations and make smarter financial decisions. Welcome to AI in Action. Each week, I'm breaking down practical AI tools and strategies that you can actually use in your business. No tech degree required. So today, we're actually jumping into a simple spreadsheet, just something that you may do for your accountant if you're doing your own books or getting something for your year-end taxes, or you could use this for anything else that you need a simple spreadsheet for. Yes, I could have done this myself in probably, less time than it took me to do this, but the whole purpose of this is to experiment and see what is giving us the output, what is better. And the more that AI gets to know us and what we want, the faster it's going to be for us. So it is better to invest the time now. So let's just dive right in and see how that works. So what we've got here is I copied and pasted right here from a client. We send them, if they use a business use of home, we have them fill out a form, and this is the answers to the questions that we have. This is something really simple that, yes, I could easily create myself, but again, part of this is all testing and seeing what the capabilities are, what it looks like, and whatnot. So here I've gone ahead, I've put that into this. I have taken out any personal client identifying information. It is extremely important, regardless of whether you're using a paid version or not, to take that out. Then I've got what I've typed in here that I've asked them to do. And you know what? I've got typing errors in here, spelling errors, and that's fine. I want AI to be able to understand what I actually mean, so I don't go back and fix those on purpose. So here it is. It just showed me it was thinking. It didn't show me what it was thinking unless you kind of click on this. You can see afterwards what it was doing so that you can, I like to see it when it's doing the work. It's kind of like checking your long division. I like to see this so that I kind of can guess, is it going to be right when it's done? So here it shows me it's built a reusable Excel template with both methods baked in, either rooms or square feet, and we can download it here. Here's how it works. Here's the expense table set up, and that's great. So let's download it and let's see what it actually looks like. So we're just going to change this one to ChatGPT version. And we are going to open this. So here is the ChatGPT version. So you have to first off choose the method, type square foot or rooms, enter all of this. It then shows you the total for the year, business use percentage based on what we've put in, rooms or square feet. In this case, I'm looking at this and I'm like, the client clearly misunderstood. 5 rooms in the house and 3 of them are for business. No, that's not it. So I went by square footage. That's more accurate here. And then here's the claimable amount and the total. Straightforward, basic. So if I were to change this, to 2, actually change, let's go to 300 because it's the square foot. You'll see everything update so that we can just take this and reuse this for each client going forward. It has everything pulled in. So now to compare to see what Claude does with this, here's my Claude version. I'll just move my picture here. So Claude, I did the exact same thing. I put in the same image. I copied and pasted the wording, so my spelling mistakes are still in here. What I really like about Claude is I can see it thinking. Here's the thought process. So you notice on ChatGPT, there wasn't as much. Here it is. I can see it thinking as it's thinking. Here's what I want you to do. From the image, this is what I can see. I need to create an Excel sheet that has this. So that's great. So now it's first going into it to determine a skill for this, which is great. I could set this up as a skill in Claude, which is the same as a custom GPT where I can just drag and drop, but I just wanted the spreadsheet. It then goes through again. I can see the thought process, what it's doing here, key features to include. Now I'll create a professional Excel spreadsheet. So again, I can see as it's working. I can see what it's thinking, which is, again, perfect. And then you can view it. Now it automatically pops it in the side, which is what I really like. I can see it in here without having to download it and go back in and use it. So just from looking at this one, I first said, okay, you know what? It again had the same. The initial one was type it in. And I thought, no, you know what? I want a drop down menu. But before I got that again, it showed me that, and then I can still download it or open it in Google Drive. Same thing up here. So then I said, okay, can you just change the select method of entering the square feet to a drop-down selection, which is great. So if I actually download this, it should give me the drop-down selection in there. It updated all of this. It shows me the thought process again as it's going through, and it's updated that. So then I thought, okay, let's go a step further and suggest the journal entry, which is down here under the bottom. Now, I could have done that in ChatGPT, so these things I could have done over in that as well. And maybe we'll see what they do live here. So it'll add that, and I've just said, okay, just use shareholder business use of home. So now I didn't tell it what to debit and credit. It did that. I just said, use shareholders where the money is paid and business use of home for the expense to be allocated. So it did properly select the debit and credit, which I really like that. What I also like in here is it automatically gave the instructions, and it's funny, it didn't update the instructions to the drop-down menu, and it shows things a little bit different here. It only has the 2 columns versus this having the total for the year, the business use of claimable. But when I look at each of these, again, let's change this back to 260. When I look at each of these, I actually like the look of this one a lot better. Of the Claude one. I like the look of that one a lot better. But let's just go back to ChatGPT here and say, can you make the square footage rooms a drop down instead of enter, and add, actually, you know what? I'm just going to go back and we are going to do exactly what I did before. I'm just going to copy and paste exactly. So that way we're doing an exact comparison. And again, it's, okay, so if you do click on that, you can see the analyzing. I like that in Claude, it automatically shows me that, which is great. But it's going through this. Let's just close that. It does seem to take a little bit longer in ChatGPT for the deep thinking than in Claude. And that could just be that Claude has now Anthropic, who actually is the company of Claude. Claude is actually the name of the service, but Anthropic is the actual company. It could be that they have decided to niche in finance and accounting because they've realized it's really, really good at that. Whereas again, ChatGPT, up until recently, it was meant to be a general. And it was created for creatives, so therefore I think that's why it did not do the analytical from the get-go. The analytical part of things was a little deeper. This has now taken easily twice as long as Claude took to get to this. Just to update a simple drop-down menu instead of entering. So we can see here it's still working on it, but again, it's taken a lot longer. While it's thinking this, I'm going to go back and we'll copy in the next portion. Okay, so there it is. And then I'll just add that. Again, I still don't like that I can see it. So what I would have had to do is I would have had to have downloaded it, then decided I wanted something, and then put it back up in here. So this is definitely taking more time to be able to do this. And this is why this AI in action exists, so that you can see what might work better than another. So again, it's going in here recommending, again, debit, credit, but it didn't automatically add it into the Excel. So yes, please. So again, this is taking more time. I like that Claude knew I wanted it built in to the Excel. So we'll see what this does, and then we'll see the output. And I would love to see in the comment section which you thought was better and which you liked better, because this is going to be a personal, definitely a personal choice. At the end of the day, because I am still doing a lot in AI and speaking on AI, is why I have the multiple versions. Okay, so let's just go ahead and we'll download this file and we'll open it and we'll see. Here it is, JE. And get this open and pull it over to take a look. Okay, so here it is. Okay, we can easily do the drop down now. And then here's a journal entry on here, the suggested journal entry. So the output was the same. One just looked a little bit better. One took a little bit longer. So personally, I prefer Claude, because if I'm watching to make sure that everything is done right, again, I don't want to spend that extra time to enter those extras. Yes, please do this, do this. I just want it. If I'm asking to do it, I obviously want it in there. So I like that Claude is a little bit more obvious to my needs for this, and that it does it quicker. So what do you like? Drop it in the comments. And so that's how you put AI to work in your business without the tech headaches. Small changes equals big impact. If this will save you time or sparked an idea, give it a like and subscribe for weekly AI tips, and share this with another business owner who could use the help. Let's make running a business a little easier for everyone. Do you need bookkeeping, payroll, profit coaching, or business consulting support? Check out what we offer at cloudbusinessservices.ca or book a discovery call to see if we're the right fit. Until next time, keep moving forward, and remember, you don't have to figure it all out alone.